So welcome friends. Today we will discuss the Kaveri river system and some other important major rivers which we will see across 2 days, tomorrow also. So this is a master map of the Kaveri river system. We will analyze the flow of the course of the river. We would see that it originates near Talakaveri, a spiritual place located on the top of the Brahmagiri hills in the Coorg Madikeri region, and also very close to the Kudremukh region. And the river flows through the Malnad region of Karnataka and then enters the plain of Tamil Nadu, where it is densely populated. And the river is utilized heavily for irrigation purposes, hydropower purposes, as well as drinking water purposes. And hence, because of the increasing pressure of population and lifestyle demands, the river is a bone of contention between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, although Kerala also forms a part of the catchment of this river. So we know that it rises from Talakaveri in the Brahmagiri range. Important falls are the Sivasamudram waterfalls, which we are familiar with, and Hokkenakkal falls. Reservoirs are the Krishna Raja Sagara reservoir, which is located just north of Mysore and supplies water to the Bangalore region. It's also the point where Karnataka can actually control the flow of river to Tamil Nadu. And then the Stanley reservoir. So the tributaries that are located are Hemavati, Shimsha, Arkavati, LakshmanTirtha, which we will see in a while, and we know that it's disputed. So the major tributaries of Kaveri, we have the Arkavati located over here. So the Arkavati originates from near the Chikkaballapur district in the Nandi Hills region, north of Bengaluru, about 100 kilometers north of Bengaluru, and then it flows westwards of Bengaluru from the Channapatna region and joins Kaveri at Sivasamudram Falls. And quite south, as we see, just as the river enters Tamil Nadu, we have the Stanley reservoir. So it originates from the Chikkaballapur district, which is an upcoming industrial region, and has the Chunchi waterfall, and Chamaraja Sagar has been built on it. Let's talk about the Shimsha river, flowing southwards and almost parallelly westwards to the Arkavati river. So we can see again from somewhere around the Tumkuru region it originates, and it flows close to the Channapatna region, the Mandya region that we are familiar with, this Ramanagaram. It's an important place. People visit it. Mainly, it's a claim to fame that it featured in the movie Sholay. So then it also joins the river near the Sivasamudram waterfalls. So you see it has the Shimsha reservoir, and that's located at Shimshapura. Let's talk about Hemavati. It originates very near to the stream of Kaveri. So this river joins Kaveri at the Krishna Raja Sagara reservoir, located north of Mysuru. This is an important left bank tributary rising from the Baba Budan hills. And the Baba Budan hills are also closely located to Kudremukh, that is located over here. And we see from Kudremukh, the Bhadra river originates. So this actually forms the water divide between the Krishna system and the Kaveri system. So completely located inside Karnataka because it joins at the reservoir, and it also has a reservoir at Gorur in Hassan district. And we can know that most of these rivers they receive heavy rainfall during early part of the monsoon, and because of which their flow increases. Although they might be perennial, but the river regime or the water flow in the river would greatly vary. The next river is the LakshmanTirtha river. Since that has been asked, many of you would be familiar with this river. So somewhere around this would be the location of LakshmanTirtha river. So it's a right bank tributary originating near the Kerala-Karnataka border and joining the river at Krishna Raja Sagara. It passes through the Nagalhod National Park it is important. Nagarhole National Park is connected to the it's a connected network of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries across these 3 states in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka as well as Kerala. And RamaTirtha is the major tributary. We can know because 2 brothers, so the river joins. The Kabani river, south of the LakshmanTirtha river, and Kabani river is the river which originates from the Kerala, within the Kerala region. So somewhere around the Wayanad region, the Kabani river originates near the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. So it's also called the Kabila river, right bank tributary. The highlight of the course is the Kabani Dam, which is located near Mysore, and it also forms a riverine island called Kuruva Deep. In fact, Kaveri also forms some riverine islands, and it flows through the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. As we saw, these rivers are located very close by, and almost all of them form the lifeline of the national parks or the wildlife sanctuaries that are located in this region. Suvarnavathy river, south of it, somewhere again in this region, not properly represented. So it originates from the Chamarajanagar taluk, that is almost the southernmost part of Karnataka, and it's part of the Chikkahole Reservoir project. Bhavani river. So this is again the Bhavani river. We see that it originates, again this also originates within the Kerala region, again just south of the Nilgiri hills. So Kabani river and Bhavani river are the 2 streams that clearly originate from within the Kerala region, and there would be many sub streams and feeder streams also. So we can see the course of the river. It also has the Bhavani Sagar reservoir that is just south of the Satyamangalam forest. You know, the Satyamangalam forest had become very important. They also have red sanders as well as the sandalwood tree, and this was the place which Virappan shot to fame. Very closely located is the Doda Betta peak. We know that it is the 2nd highest peak of Tamil Nadu, and also the highest peak of the Nilgiri hills, located very close to the Udagamandalam, that is Ooty. And just north of it we have the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. The river joins the Kaveri river at Erode, another important center of Tamil Nadu. So we saw the river rises near Ooty, has the Bhavani Sagar reservoir, and also forms the boundary between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So Noyil river, located south of it. So this is the course of the Noyil river, almost from at the boundary. The important city that is located along its course is Coimbatore and Avinashi, while it river flows and joins just north of Karur. It's the Amaravati river, which is coming next, joins at Karur, and this river joins just north of Karur. So also known as Kanchi Nadi, and Coimbatore is located on its bank. It's an important industrial center as well as the textile hub of Coimbatore. Also it has a number of sugarcane factories. So it is emerging as the one of the poles or the industrial centers of Tamil Nadu, apart from Madras, Chennai. Also the river originates very near to the Palghat Pass, which we can see the Palghat Pass. We can almost locate it on the map, close to the Palakkad. So the Amaravati river, we saw the river originates from Anaimudi Hills, which is the highest point of South India, in the Anaimalai Hills, located very closely to Kodai Canal on the Tamil Nadu side and Munnar on the side of Kerala. And the river joins the Kaveri river at Karur, a little northwards or a little before Tiruchirappalli, which is located here. So also known as Ponnami, and rises near Anaimudi, as we saw, near the highest point of South India, and its important tributaries are Sanmukta and Nanganji, and the city that is located on its habitation is Karur. Let's talk about some other important rivers. So the first one is the Periyar river. So let's talk about the Periyar river, located over here, an important river. So again, the river originates from just near to the border, as the Periyar lake reservoir that has been done, and the river flows just to the north of the Vembanad lake, to the north of Ernakulam or Kochi, and just to the north of it. And we would see also like the Pamba river originating from almost the same place but traverses a slightly different course, and it also flows into the Vembanad lake. So the Periyar river is the longest river of Kerala. In fact, Kerala is a place that is full of rivers and natural and artificial reservoirs. We cannot actually go north to south about more than 10 kilometers without actually coming across a major or minor water stream. So Idukki Dam is constructed over this. There have been some issues regarding the safety and longevity of the dam that is located over here, and since mainly Tamil Nadu, it is Tamil Nadu that benefits from this dam, Kerala has often opposed it, although a central team was sent very recently and it said that the height of water should be reduced, although the dam appears to be structurally safe. So the source of the river is in Shivagiri Hills, and it flows through the Periyar National Park into the Periyar Reservoir formed by the Mulla Periyar Dam, and its water is diverted from the reservoir into the Vaigai river of Tamil Nadu, and there has been dispute regarding the construction of the dam. Second, we see the Pamba river. Again, these rivers we usually miss. So this is the Pamba river we just saw, again flowing into the Vembanad lake, very near to the Aleppo. The third longest river of Kerala, and Sabrimala temple is located on its bank, which people visit. It's highly revered in the Kerala region. It originates from the Pulashimai hills of Western Ghats and empties into the Vembanad lake. You know, it's also the Cardamom Hills range that is here, if we cannot remember the local name for that hills, and its originates just near where the Periyar originates, just that the course of the river is different, but we can see that the conclusion is not very different. And this river is also venerated as Dakshina Ganga, just like Kaveri. Godavari is the Vriddha Ganga, also referred to as Dakshina Ganga, and it drains the rice cultivating region of Kuttanad, and we know that the Kuttanad rice system of rice intensification has been there. Some undersea farming has also been there, and FAO has recognized it as a globally important region for agricultural practices actually. So Thamirabarani, so this is originates near the Kerala Tamil Nadu border, and it flows to the Tirunelveli to join the river. It's a very small river, completely located within Tamil Nadu. So this river is called the only perennial river in South India, and that is because it gets rain from both southwest as well as northeast monsoons. Although there would be many other rivers and streams, but this has been specially highlighted as a description of this river. It forms the LakshmanTirtha falls and the Agasthyar falls, and the river finds mentions in the Sangam literature as well as the ancient literature, because we know that this is the region, this region was where Pandeyas had their kingdom, and was the site for the Sangam literature and the ancient Tamil civilization. Vaippar river, located just north of Thamirabarani, so we are descending from extreme south northwards. So Vaippar river lies between Vaigai river, which drains near Rameshwaram, and the Thamirabarani river, which is located near Tirunelveli, and all these rivers drain into the Gulf of Mannar. So an important town that we can highlight is the Vaippar river flows just south of the Shivakasi, the place also known as the cracker factory of India. So it originates from the eastern slope of Cardamom Hills and then flows through Theni and Virudnagar districts before draining into the Gulf of Mannar. And important tributaries are Algar and Odai, and it's on the sand quarry that massive protests have been held. And also the Theni district that is located is also one of the sites of protest, because India has proposed a neutrino observatory, the second observatory after the one at Kolar was closed because of the closing of the mine. Now Vaigai river, important river of Tamil Nadu. So that Vaigai actually again originates from this southern parts of Western Ghats, the Annamalai Hills, the Cardamom Hills region, and the important river that is located along its bank is the Madurai region. The center, the heart of the Sangam literature was around this region, and the river then flows into the Ramanathapuram. Ramanathapuram is the extension that we see on the Indian map, the kink that is present, and through a rail bridge and a road bridge it is connected to the Rameshwaram island. And we know that where the Rameshwaram island ends is a small island of 5 to 6 kilometers in east to west length. We have the Adams Bridge, and from this point, that is Dhanushkodi, around only about 32 nautical miles we have the Sri Lankan territory. So we saw it's the most important river of southern Tamil Nadu, rising from the Cardamom Hills and flowing through the Vashunar Hills and Shirumalai Hills. It drains the Kambam Valley and empties in the Pambam Channel and separates the Park Bay from the Gulf of Mannar. And important cities that are located are Madurai, Ramanathapuram and Theni. Let's talk about the Ponnaiyar river. So now we have moved to the northern portion of Tamil Nadu. So this river originates from near the Kolar region and traverses the course to join the sea at Kadaldor, just south of Pondicherry. It rises from the Melagiri range and flows between the Javri and Chevroy hills. So this is the Javri hills that are located over here. This is the Chevroy hills, and it flows between them. It cuts across between them. And we know that this eastern Ghats region is a remnants of several broken, disconnected hill ranges, and that is probably because the rivers have eroded them. So the important cities that are located are Krishnagiri and Kadaldor, that is located at the mouth of the literature, and also we know that these are mentioned in the Sangam and the medieval literature because of the important contributions they have played for the human civilization. Palar river, north of the Ponnaiyar river. Again, the river originates from this highland, Karnataka highland region, and then it flows to the Chittoor region, the southernmost part of the now Andhra Pradesh. And important city that is located on its town is Vellore and Kanchipuram, an historical city, and the river flows about a little south of Chennai that it drains into the sea. Palar river, important river of northern Tamil Nadu from near the Kolar gold field. The important tributaries are Ponnai and Cheyyar, and there were massive protests against the proposed irrigation dam by Andhra Pradesh, because we know that Tamil Nadu, the plains of Tamil Nadu are heavily populated, densely irrigated, and also since the per capita income, the human development is high, the lifestyle is such that the water requirements are high, and that is leading to a number of rivers in this region which are facing contentious claims. Penneru River, again we are moving further northwards into the Andhra Pradesh region. This also originates from near the same island region, the Chikballapur, Nandidurg Hills region, and it flows through the important Kadapa region, which is geologically very important, and cuts across the Palkonda range and the Vellikonda range. So these are the hills of Andhra Pradesh. So we have Nalla Malai, and just north of it we would have the hills of Orissa. So the river drains near Nellore in Andhra Pradesh. So important river of southern Andhra Pradesh, rising from near the Tumkur region, Tumkur-Chikballapur region, bifurcates Rayalaseema into almost two equal parts. The Rayalaseema is on the cultural region of Andhra Pradesh, and we saw that it divides and separates the remnants Eastern Ghats hills of Andhra Pradesh. Cities that are located are Kadapa and Nellore. Gundlakamma. Now this river flows through the between almost from the region of Nalla Malai hills and the Vellikonda hills, and it flows in the almost the sea type of sections that we have, the Kadapa region that we have, almost sea type of section just south of the Krishna Godavari Delta region. So largest of all rivers that originates from the Nalla Mala hills, and we have a 15th century dam by the Gajapati kings, it's called the Kambam dams. So it has the Kambam dam on it, and then has some irrigation projects in the Paraksham district, which Andhra Pradesh is demanding to be provided a status of a national project for more funds. So thank you. In the next class we will see some more important rivers.